Get off me!
You're not going anywhere.
Let go!
Not until you listen. A chance. Keep walking.
Help somebody!
Los Angeles, California, August 1968. A Saturday afternoon, 1445. A Bank of America branch on the corner of Broadway and 3rd Street downtown. The summer heat is unbearable, 33 degrees Celsius. The bank's air conditioners are struggling with all their might to cool the overcrowded space. A huge line, about 20 people waiting their turn at the tellers. The kind of line that tests anyone's patience, moving slowly. Every transaction feels like an eternity. Bruce Lee stands in line, 12th in order, waiting calmly. He came to deposit a check for a martial arts demonstration he conducted the previous week at a karate convention. He is wearing gray classic trousers, a white short-sleeved shirt, dark glasses hanging from his breast pocket, polished black shoes. A businesslike, understated appearance. Nothing that would draw attention. In his hands is a brown envelope with the check inside. His gaze drifts absently around the room. He notices the cameras in the corners, the position of the security guard at the entrance, an elderly man in a dark blue uniform with a pistol in a holster, the emergency exits at the back of the hall. The line moves by centimeters. Bruce doesn't mind. He uses the time for standing meditation, a technique he developed himself. His body is completely relaxed, while his mind is hyper-alert, registering every sound, every movement in his peripheral vision, the slightest change in the environment. This is mental training, a discipline he practices everywhere, turning ordinary moments into opportunities for self-improvement. Behind him in line is an elderly woman with a cane, gray hair gathered in a bun, a blue floral dress, a large bag hanging from her arm. She coughs occasionally, looks worn out by the heat. Bruce notices that it is hard for her to stand so long, sees the sweat on her forehead. He turns slightly and politely asks, "Ma'am, perhaps you'd like to go ahead of me? It would be more comfortable." The woman smiles gratefully. "Very kind of you, young man. But no, it's all right. I've already been standing for so long. A few more minutes won't change anything." Bruce nods respectfully and turns back around. At that moment, the bank door is flung open forcefully. Marcus Walsh enters. 2 meters tall, 140 kilograms of pure muscle. His shoulders are so broad that he has to turn slightly to fit through the door. A neck like a tree trunk, a shaved head glistening with sweat, a massive jaw, cold blue eyes scanning the room with contempt. He is 36. A former American football player whose promising career was destroyed by knee injuries and problems with steroids. Now he works as a high-level enforcer and debt collector for a shady credit company. A job perfectly suited to his nature. Intimidation is his main weapon, violence his second nature. Marcus is late, irritated, sweating under the California sun. He needs to deposit money before the bank closes at 3 p.m. Only 15 minutes left. He looks at the long line and grinds his teeth. There's no time to wait. He never waits. Why should he? He's the biggest one here. Stronger, scarier. Rules aren't written for people like him. At least that's what he believes. Marcus starts walking along the line, not discreetly but demonstratively, invading everyone's personal space, forcing people to step aside slightly as he passes, heading straight for the front, ignoring angry looks and muted protests. No one dares say anything loud enough for him to hear. No one wants a conflict with such a giant. But when Marcus passes Bruce, he stops. Something about this calm little Asian man, standing motionless, not stepping aside, not even showing that he has noticed Marcus's presence, deeply irritates him. As if Bruce doesn't see him as a threat, doesn't acknowledge his superiority. For Marcus, this is unacceptable. His entire identity is built on physical intimidation. Marcus positions himself directly behind Bruce, completely invading his space, so close that Bruce feels the heat of the massive body. A deep, threatening voice. "Hey, you, move aside. I'm in a hurry." Bruce doesn't turn around, keeps looking forward and calmly replies. The line starts back there. Everyone is waiting. Marcus grinds his teeth. He's not used to being disobeyed. "I'm not asking. I'm telling you. Move. Now." Bruce finally turns and looks up. The height difference is absurd. He has to tilt his head far back to meet his eyes. His voice remains calm, emotionless. "I won't move. Wait your turn like everyone else here." Marcus smirks, not friendly but with that predatory grin that says he knows he will physically crush his opponent. You don't know who you're dealing with, Chinese. The elderly woman behind them steps back in fear. People in the line begin to turn around. The tension in the air thickens. The guard at the entrance notices the situation and starts moving toward them. But he's far away. It will take him about 15 seconds to reach them. Marcus decides to escalate. His huge right hand, fingers thick like sausages, lands on Bruce's left shoulder. Not a light touch but a brutal grip, the kind Marcus usually uses to break people, make bones crack, sending an unmistakable message of total physical dominance. His fingers clamp down like a vice with crushing force, expecting Bruce to bend in pain, drop to his knees, start begging. But Bruce doesn't react. Outwardly, he remains completely still, his face neutral, breathing even. Inside, however, he instantly calculates the situation. The exact position of each of Marcus's fingers on his shoulder. The opponent's weight distribution. He understands that all of Marcus's confidence rests on this very grip, that Marcus already considers victory assured simply because he is bigger and stronger. Marcus makes the classic mistake almost all big men make. He confuses size with invincibility. 5 seconds. That's all it will take. 5 seconds to teach a lesson in physics, leverage, and nerve points. 5 seconds to turn arrogant confidence into screaming pain. First second. Bruce's left hand moves not to remove Marcus's hand from his shoulder. That would be a contest of strength against strength, a guaranteed loss. Instead, Bruce's fingers slide upward. His thumb finds the exact spot on the inside of Marcus's wrist where the median nerve runs close to the surface. Pressure on the right point sends a sharp electric pain straight to the brain. Bruce presses not with brute force, but with surgical precision. Second. Marcus feels a sharp burning pain shooting from his wrist to his elbow. His fingers on Bruce's shoulder reflexively weaken. An automatic neurological response. But Marcus is stubborn, used to enduring pain, tries to maintain the grip. Bruce is already 3 moves ahead. His right hand flashes upward. Fingers in a claw shape seize the inside of Marcus's elbow, the junction where tendon meets bone. Another nerve point. 2 simultaneous attacks. Wrist and elbow. Sensory overload. Third second. Marcus's arm is on fire with pain. He completely releases Bruce's shoulder. He tries to yank his arm back, but Bruce doesn't let go. On the contrary, he twists Marcus's wrist into an unnatural angle. Not enough to break it, but enough to make every nerve in the arm scream. At the same time, Bruce steps to the side, changing the angle, using Marcus's own momentum against him. Fourth second. Bruce pulls down on the wrist while simultaneously pushing up under the elbow. A lever is created that cannot be resisted. The laws of physics don't care about size or strength. A lever is a lever. 140 kilograms are forced to bend forward, trying to relieve the unbearable pressure on the joints. The face that a second ago looked down with contempt is now at the same level. Eyes wide with shock and pain. Fifth second. Bruce adds the final effort. An extra twist of the wrist plus a downward pull under the elbow. Marcus's ulnar nerve, the same one that shoots pain when you hit your elbow on the edge of a table, is compressed. Explosive, electric, unbearable pain floods the entire arm. Marcus opens his mouth and lets out a scream. High-pitched, piercing, completely involuntary. The scream of a man who has just learned that size means nothing when someone knows exactly where to press to turn your own nervous system against you. 5 seconds. From the moment Marcus grabbed Bruce's shoulder to the moment he is screaming, bent over, completely controlled by a man who weighs less than half his weight. The entire line freezes with mouths open. The elderly woman covers her face with her hands. The guard stops halfway, unsure what to do. It is clear that the victim here is not Bruce. Bruce holds the pressure for another 2 seconds to make sure the lesson is learned, then releases. Marcus staggers back, stumbles, grabs his right arm with his left hand. His face is twisted with residual pain. He looks at Bruce with complete confusion, fear, and helpless rage. How could this small man do this? 140 kilograms of muscle defeated by 61 kilograms of knowledge. Bruce straightens his shirt, checks that the envelope with the check is still in place. Yes. He looks at Marcus and speaks in the same even instructive but not mocking tone. You tried to use brute force against someone who understands leverage and anatomy. Your grip on my shoulder meant nothing because I knew where to press to shut your arm off like a switch. You have 140 kilograms, I have 61. But I know where every nerve in the human body runs. Size is an illusion. Knowledge is real power. The guard finally approaches, confused, and asks, "What's going on here?" The elderly woman answers first. This big man tried to attack the young man and got what he deserved. The others in line murmur in agreement. The guard looks at Marcus. "Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to leave the bank." Marcus, still holding his arm, publicly humiliated, doesn't argue, turns and heads for the exit. Every step reminds him of the lingering pain. Every look from the line reminds him of the humiliation. Bruce turns back to face forward as if nothing happened. The line moves, he takes a step forward. The elderly woman lightly touches his shoulder, the same one Marcus tried to crush a minute earlier, and says, "Thank you for not backing down. Men like that think they can do anything." Bruce smiles softly. Today he learned that strength without wisdom is just wasted energy. 10 minutes later, Bruce reaches the teller, deposits the check, exchanges a few polite phrases with the clerk, who clearly recognized him after the incident, but is too professional to mention it. He leaves the bank, walks along Broadway under the hot afternoon sun. Just another person in the crowd, unremarkable, ordinary. Nothing about him screams danger or power. But everyone who was in that bank that day learned one fundamental truth. Never judge a book by its cover. Never confuse size with capability. And never ever raise your hand against someone who can, in 5 seconds, turn your own nervous system into your worst enemy. 5 seconds changed everything. Not because Bruce humiliated Marcus, but because Marcus realized that his entire life, built on physical intimidation, was an illusion, and illusions, when shattered, leave only naked truth. Knowledge always defeats brute force. Always. The only question is what you build your confidence on. Size or wisdom? Marcus chose size. Bruce chose wisdom. 5 seconds showed which choice stands up to reality.